The dynamic duo of Josh Giddey and Coby White helped lift the Chicago Bulls past the Miami Heat. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's win. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe. You have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so tonight, the Chicago Bulls take care of the Miami Heat at home and win 119-111. And I think really the key takeaway out of this is that the rest, it paid off because the Chicago Bulls came into this game. They took care of business. They have not been very good as a team, I think, in back-to-back situations. And really, this could be a preview of what is to come in the play-in situation. And so before we go ahead and jump into the box score and the key takeaways from tonight's game, I first wanted to remind you that, 72.4% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure, like Modest Buzelis did in this game, you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button, as it means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to go ahead and reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the box score and look at the key takeaways from this game. And so look, we always start with the MVPs on the night, and look, man, I had to go with 4 MVPs tonight. I think that there were 4 players for the Chicago Bulls that were absolutely impactful. And so let's go ahead and start with MVP number 1. And look, that was Josh Giddey, because look, Josh Giddey, he comes in, he gets his 7th triple-double, I believe, on the season. And, look, the guy really turned it on in the second half. And so here's his stat line tonight. So he had 28 points, 16 rebounds, 11 assists. He had 2 steals. He also had 3 blocks, and he was plus 11. He was 11 of 19 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown in 40 minutes. And so I love the confidence that I saw from Josh Giddey. I think that, man, there was a huge three-pointer where he comes down and he just pulls up and just knocks it down. And so when you see Josh Giddey playing with this type of confidence like he's been playing with really over this last half of the season, I mean, it's been tremendous. And so I think that, man, he did a terrific job moving off the ball. I think he did a great job as far as table setting for the team tonight. Like Josh Giddey really got it done. And defensively, you got to give him some credit, too, with the activity that you had with the steals and the block shots. And so a terrific game all around for Josh Giddey. And so next up for me, it's got to go to Kevin Huerter. I think that Kevin Huerter, he had a very good game today, and I think that he had a strong start to this game. And I think that what I love most about Kevin Huerter is just, it seems like that as the season has gone along, as he's really got comfortable with this system that the Chicago Bulls run, it seems that we're starting to see some similarities to what we saw when he was with the Atlanta Hawks. Like, he's really moving that well in this offense, and he's playing with a ton of confidence. This is taking me back to when he first got to Sacramento, and he was a huge impact player there. We're starting to see that on the floor with the Bulls. And so tonight, 22 points, he had 4 rebounds, but he had 7 assists. And so his ability to be a playmaker tonight, I thought, was pretty special. He was plus 10 in the plus-minus box score. He was 9 of 16 from the field and 4 of 9 from deep in 37 minutes. So I think that Kevin Huerter played a great game. I got to give him an MVP on the night. And so next up, my next MVP on the day, it's got to go to Coby White. And so look, Coby White, I thought that the reason that I'm giving Coby White this MVP is because of the way that Coby White finished the game. And so it was not a good start to the game. It was very much like, man, can Coby White get it together? But this really, I think it kind of just is signifies just really what his career has been about. It looks tough, and then Coby White just finds a way to figure it out, and he figured it out in a big way in this game. He had 18 points, he had 5 rebounds, he had 4 assists, 1 block, and he was plus 3, and he was 5 of 14 from the field. He was 0 of 5 from deep, but more importantly, he was 8 of 8 from the free throw line in 36 minutes. So once again, Coby White finding ways to figure it out. Like I said, just like he's done in his career with the Chicago Bulls, regardless of what the role has been, Coby White has just really stuck through it. He's fought and he's figured out a way to get it done, much like what the Chicago Bulls are doing here. So he's definitely got to get an MVP tonight. And you love the fact that Coby White has matured, I think, as a scorer, because look, if the three-point shot is not going, he is finding ways to get to the free throw line. And really, I think there was one play in the third quarter that led to to a timeout. It should have been an and one too. But yeah, Coby White making some things happen. So MVP on the night for me. And so next up, the last MVP for me, it's going to have to go to Vooch. I think that Vooch, man, he was tremendous in this game for me because Vooch, look, I've been talking about the fact that his role has probably changed with this team. The offense doesn't necessarily run the same. And he's just figuring out ways to be the pro's pro. And in tonight's game, he was locked in. He had 20 points. He had 11 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He had 2 steals. He had a block. He was plus 13, but he was 9 of 15 from the field and 2 of 4 from deep in 35 minutes. I just like the activity that I saw from Vooch. I feel like his energy level has really picked up a lot. And look, man, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Vooch, moving forward this summer with the expiring contract. And I just got to really go ahead and give Vooch a ton of credit for the way that he's responded, especially not getting traded at the trade deadline, having the hot season, kind of fell off a little bit, the injury and everything like that. And he's just really bought into what this team is doing and taken a back seat to what Coby White and Josh Giddey have done and just not gotten in the way and doing everything that he can do to help this team. And so I've got to give Vooch a ton of credit. He was an MVP tonight, and definitely you got to give him an MVP for getting the block shot too as well on the defensive end. So for sure for Vooch tonight. So next up, let's go ahead and jump into the box score and just look at the key takeaways from everybody else tonight. And so let's start with Modest Buzelis. And so Modest Buzelis wasn't an MVP tonight, but man, he was right there for me. He had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 0 assists. He had 1 steal, 1 block. He was plus 21, 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line in 34 minutes. He did have a dunk, and he also had that block shot, and that is something that is really shown with Modest Buzelis throughout his rookie season here. But look, Modest Buzelis, once again, I mean, just showing us that there are things that just do not show up in the stat sheet, and that's exactly what we saw in this game. I just got to give him a ton of credit because there was a late 3-point shot, and this is the exact look that he gave the Miami Heat bench as he knocked down a huge 3 as the Heat were trying to jump back into this one, but plays with a ton of juice, which is confidence. This guy is showing us that he is going to be a special player for the Chicago Bulls, man. I cannot wait until year 2. In fact, I just can't wait till he gets to the play-in situation or maybe a playoff situation to see how he responds. It's just great to see Modest Buzelis continue to grow as a player. And so next up, let's go ahead and jump back into the box score and take a look at the rest of the team. And so starting with Zac Collins. And so Zac Collins, only 4 rebounds tonight. He played 13 minutes. He did have a block shot in this one. Again, I just like the energy where he's getting the activities with the rebounds and things like that. And you're talking about a guy that's had to fit in and find his way with the team and really take on another role. It's been Zac Collins. And so next up, Patrick Williams. I thought that Patrick Williams attacked the rim tonight. He did have a nice finish, I think, in the first half or something like that. It was a very good dunk. And then he also had a nice little layup too as well. I think that was from a pass from Josh Giddey. And so those were his 2 buckets in this game. He was negative 13 in 14 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from deep. THT, only 2 points tonight, 8 minutes for him. Julian Phillips, 2 points, 7 minutes, 1 of 1. I like the energy. And Dalen Terry, I loved his energy tonight. Look, 6 points, 3 assists. He had a rebound. He had a steal. He was plus 0, so he wasn't a negative or positive, really. He was even. And he was 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown in 16 minutes. But, man, he hit a buzzer beater, I think, 3-pointer at the end of the half there. And I just loved his energy, man. I just loved everything that I'm seeing from Dalen Terry between him and Julian Phillips. These are players that have shown us flashes, and I'm starting to believe that these guys can really be some impactful players off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. So super proud of that. I think that the disappointing thing of the night is, once again, we did not see Jalen Smith. So I don't understand what's going on there, but I think that he's definitely got to play, especially with the play-in/playoff situation, looming here. And so let's go ahead and jump into the team box score really quickly and look at the key takeaways from that. And so starting with the rebounds, the Bulls win in that department 46-39. I thought that we did a terrific job as far as hitting the boards tonight. Turnovers, the Bulls cleaned that up a little bit more, but still led in that department 16-13. And so much better than the game before, but still need to cut that down. 7-3 as far as the Bulls and the block shots. I thought the activity was absolutely there for the Bulls on the defensive end. 56-54, the Heat, get us with the points in the paint. Not bad. And then when it comes down to the steals, the Heat lead that department 11-8. Fast breaks, the Bulls lead that department 24-15. So it's always great to see that this team really takes on that identity and continues to keep running. Field goal percentage, not bad, because from the field, 51.7 for the Bulls, 37.8 from downtown, not bad at all. The Miami Heat, 47.8 from the field, 36.4 from deep. Chicago Bulls had 33 assists to 46 field goal makes. That's very good right there. And so, look, I just think that the bottom line here is that the rest paid off for the Chicago Bulls. And I think that another thing that I really liked out of this game that's probably not talked about was in the game against the Cavs. They had a very good third quarter and a nice push, and that actually translated to this game as well. I thought that the Bulls came out super aggressive really to start the third quarter, and I think that is really something that's undervalued as a team. I think back of the Golden State Warriors when they were really good, winning titles and things like that. One of the things that they used to do is they used to lock teams up in the third quarter where they would get defensive stops and then they would go on those tears in the third. And so I'm not saying that the Chicago Bulls are there, but I do think that that is a component to playing some winning basketball long term. I think that you do need to master that part of the game because, I think that teams maybe come out sluggish in that second half, and you have a chance to really put that team in a tough situation if you start off like that. And so I think the Bulls did a great job there. And I like the fact that they continue to play fast. Josh Giddey with a ton of confidence. This backcourt is for real. And look, the Bulls have a chance to get the 8th seed. It's going to depend on what the Atlanta Hawks do. I mean, obviously, if they lose out and the Bulls take care of business, there's a chance that they can get to that 8th seed. And I think that just the bottom line for this, for me, is just that the Bulls, the youth development has been there so far down the stretch, which I do love that. I feel like that there are a lot of questions that are getting answered. We still need some more, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Chicago Bulls team. And so anyway, let me know in the comments here what your key takeaways were from tonight's win. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. And look, we got 2 more left. And so let's see what happens with these Chicago Bulls. And as we always say, go Bulls. And we will see you on the next one. All right, peace.